You're in the KES room. This is where we meet every Thursday at 8 p.m. And while you're looking at winning $1,000 for your pitch here, we'll give you money to actually get your company started as well. And you can get money from this to get your company started from Impact. This is just the initial round. Impact will be giving away more money if they think your idea is viable. But we meet every day from 8 o'clock at Thursday. We'll give you money for tinkering, $1,000 for tinkering, and $3,000 to up to $3,000 to get your company off the ground and running. So, yeah, but you need to be present for one term. So if you start coming now, you could get money for next term. If you attend the rest of the meetings this term, you could possibly get money next term. So, all right. Thank you.
All right, welcome to the KES room. Just quickly, the background of this, and I'm going to let Massoud explain everything that's going on, our Professor Tavakoli. It was a while ago we sat down and talked about ways to actually make an impact at Kettering and change the Kettering environment. It's not to say that it's bad or anything, but there is always room for improvement. So as you can see, it takes a lot of innovative mind to actually get to these type of things. And sometimes you don't know how creative you are until you actually forced to come up with something, or maybe you have to enter into some kind of contest to come up with an idea. It's not like you don't have it, but a lot of people, I mean, I am actually a kind of accidental entrepreneur myself. So when you push yourself for something as small as this is a good way to get you started to actually accomplish great goals. So for that, we do know that to change Kettering, actually students can be a big part of that. That's the reason why we are doing this one. This is actually one part of a whole, maybe several series of challenges that are going to come up to this. First is to pitch your idea and get money to do the prototype, and second is to do a business model, executive summary competition, and the big part is actually a business model competition when you actually get a lot of money in thousands of dollars to actually take your product to the market. So I think we have handouts. You can look at those to tell us if you have any question. We highly encourage involvement from faculty. If you have some advisors, some people from your department that you trust, they can help talk to them about this idea. But one of the key things is that you have to be a Kettering. Every team must have a currently registered Kettering student. So we'll go through a little bit. I'm gonna have Massoud pick up from here and talk to you a little bit about his vision for this, and then we'll go through the rules and requirement.
All right, thank you. So the vision is simple. We just want to engage students in collaborative innovation. But we decided that probably the best means for that is not to just keep it wide open. Look for something that impacts Kettering, and that's what we call it, Kettering Impact. So we're trying not to close it down too much. So if you read this problem statement, you identify an opportunity for improvement, okay? Some sort of problem or need. That's how innovation always starts, when you identify an opportunity for improvement. Make it relevant to a significant impact on Kettering. So just my suggestion, look at your life at Kettering, okay? All the processes you come across, all the things, and start saying, where can I make an improvement? And that's probably where your opportunity is. Also, and kind of create an innovative approach. Keep thinking some sort of product or service that addresses that opportunity, okay? Now, having said this, we have to put some boundary around this. So I've been thinking about how to put this boundary around this thing. At first I was thinking making it technology-based, but a lot of services may not fall into technology, so I'm not doing that. So I tell you what not to do. If you see a problem on campus that you can't impact, then it's probably outside your realm. Like, for example, I don't know, if you think that some prof should get fired, that's not something you can help with, okay? I mean, that's an opinion issue. That's not a product or service. Or if you think some process should be completely revamped, but it will take the entire university to cooperate with you to do that, that's just too complicated. So keep thinking, can you create something that the university becomes a customer to? That would be your first customer. And even if they decide they don't want it, can you still produce that product and still find customers within the university that use it? Like, no, for example, if you decide that we need better meals on campus, well, Sodexo has monopoly of meals on campus, so the university is not going to cooperate with you. However, there's nothing that stops you from producing that across the street somehow, right? So you can still compete. It's just a little tougher to enter. So keep thinking like that. We're looking for some opportunity you can identify that you can impact your own lives and our lives at Kettering, make the university better one way or the other. But it does end into something that potentially is a product or service that you can envision developing someday. Now, as phase one, you don't have to develop it, you just develop the idea. However, if you get interested to develop a venture based on that, a business of some sorts, and really kind of start developing that idea, that's a phase two that we're hoping to roll out maybe next time you come around, if we're ready for it. And that's the one that Abdra was saying that will have much more money involved in it, you know, maybe $10,000-15,000 just to get started into a business. That one is not going to be a prize. That one's going to be money that we will let you spend on your business, not necessarily just put it in the bank. Okay, so that's going to be a little different. But this one is yours just for having participated and won the contest. Effectively, what we need from you is to develop, you know, your opportunity, kind of identify. There's a little process down here that we're going to get to in a minute as to how to do it, so we kind of guide you through it. But eventually, at the end, we just need a 4-minute video that's posted to YouTube in which you pitch your idea, justify it, you tell us why it's important, and you tell us what you want to do about it. And that's the one that's going to get judged by a panel of judges, a few faculty, staff people, and I'm inviting the president and the provost to be on that panel because I want the highest levels of this university to listen to you. So at least they or some representative of those offices are going to be present. So that's going to get judged. And the winner will take $1,000 home. Second place probably takes $500, and then I'm willing to give as many $250 prizes to remaining people as the judges deem fit, right? So as many as good ideas that are out there, we'll give you some thank you money for having participated. Questions?
Is there a reason for having no slides?
We just wanted to keep it simple. Do you think it would be better if in your YouTube you also had some sort of PowerPoint? I've never been able to do that, a homemade movie that, you know, PowerPoint works well in.
Not necessarily PowerPoint, but if there's like, you know, a product that someone's trying to demonstrate.
No, you can do show and tell. Yeah, we just didn't want it to be a lecture through a PowerPoint series of slides. I mean, this has to be you convincing somebody that you know what you know. And sure, use artifacts and samples and whatever it is you need to do to drive your point home.
I mean, like, well, what if it's on the computer is what I mean, like a visual aid?
We have a short example we're gonna show at the
Yeah,
end.
I'm okay with visual aids. Just, we want to see you present this thing, okay? As opposed to just a series of PowerPoint slides coming up. So, yeah, that's, you know, I was thinking about maybe even taking that out. So don't take too much of that, okay? So, and we've decided to present that during the midnight or the late night breakfast, because there's going to be a lot of student body out there, and hopefully your colleagues are going to, your peers are going to be also seeing what you're talking about. Right? It's a little harsh on the administrators to show up at that time, but I'm sending them invitations to pull them out. So we'll see how much commitment we get. Now, there is stuff down here, Abdra, if you would scroll it up. This is your roadmap. And this, by the way, is something you can take with you for any kind of innovation practice. You can, you know, you gotta be able to explain what's the opportunity, you know, where did it come from. You gotta justify it, you gotta make sure, and then you kind of tell you what's your solution for solving that problem. Of course, that will make sense, you know. So read through this thing, and eventually, if you were to roll this out as a product or service, who would be your first adopters? You know, who would be your customers? You know, start thinking a little bit about the part that you're not doing at this point, but think about it and talk about it. Are there any barriers to entry? This is always important for an entrepreneur or innovator to know. You know, as we roll this stuff out, who's gonna really say no to you? Because the more you anticipate those, the more you can prepare yourself for it. And of course, who's your competition, you know? And, you know, if you really, a lot of times in this room we hear ideas and say, nobody else doing anything like this. That's never true, by the way. There's always competition for what you're doing. Somebody's doing something similar to it somewhere. So there's always competition. It's good to identify that. And then, you know, who's your team? We prefer if you can put a team together, that'd be better. We haven't closed off individual participation, okay? But given you have 2-3 weeks, if you could team up with some peers, that'd be great. If you can team up with some mentors amongst faculty or community people, that'd be even stronger for your team. And then what's your competitive advantage? In other words, in your solution or in your team, or what is it that you have that gives you a little bit of an edge over the competition? So think through these things, roll it up into a 4-minute presentation, okay, a 4-minute YouTube thing, and hopefully you'll have a great idea, and hopefully that'll be something that Kettering will, you know, will kind of get interested in and say, this is good, we ought to do something about this. And then you might want to start a venture based on that in the future. Okay. What else do we have, Abdra?
Just some.
So these are just rules and
Everything is-
things. You know, there's some deadlines. I think there's a summary of deadlines down below, right, Abdra? If you scroll down a little bit more. So important dates. If you want to participate in this by next Tuesday, send an email, and I think I've used myself as the point of reference. My email is in here somewhere. Send an email to me, tell me that you want to participate. You don't need to tell me anything more than that. Just tell me who you are and what you want to do. You don't even have to have the problem identified by next week. You have 3 weeks to work on it.
I think quickly, what is the problem? Sometimes they have to,
Yeah, you're
they
right.
have to identify the problem.
Yeah.
The thing about this one, maybe within 2 weeks of research, you might change it, but at least have an idea.
Right. Maybe by next week you
Yeah.
can get an idea of what it is that you have passion about solving. Okay, and then just put that in email as a form of entry, say, this is what I want to work on. You can change it after that.
Yep.
Okay, if that changes in the next 2 weeks, that's fine, you know, the weeks after that. But that's the one piece we want for your registration, then you go work on the rest of it. So you can look through that
So the
document.
judging criteria.
Yeah, right, now, we even gave you the judging criteria. This is the criteria that the judges get in front of them with a score of 1 to 5 in front of each. Exactly this. So you know exactly what you're going to be judged on, okay? The only thing that they have here that we haven't talked about is, if you scroll up, we kind of put a little bonus category in case some of you are ambitious to go a little further, is any kind of addressing of these issues in your pitch. Okay, these go a little bit beyond what we've kind of asked you to focus on. Like, you know, are you thinking about the broader implications of what you've just dealt with? Like, for example, even though you do something that you think might solve a problem at Kettering, remember, best business ideas are scalable, which means you can immediately start thinking, hey, I can apply this to other universities. They're not going to be that different from us. So now that's the beginning of a business venture that starts developing in your heads, right? Or you start thinking about, you know, long-term prospects. You know, is this a one-time deal, or can I now create other products that are offshoots of this thing? So any deeper level thinking that you can do, that gives you a little bit extra bonus on your evaluation. So I think we've said everything we need to say about this. What I do want you to do is be also champions for this Kettering Impact. Go and talk to your friends a little bit about this. If this is exciting to you, I'm sure you have some friends that are going to find it just as equally exciting. Okay? If you see some glitches right now, let us know right now, so next time we roll this out, we can make an improvement, or even for this one, we can make an improvement. So we're open for any feedback right now or any questions.
It seems like there's 2 different problem topics that we're trying to do. One's coming up with an idea, and second, converting that idea into a venture.
That one is not part of this. This one is just the opportunity and the solution, right? With a little bit of an eye on who's going to be your customer. So you don't need to push this into a business plan.
Okay.
So there's no mention of any business plan here at all, right? So this is like phase one, just the innovation part of it, okay? That's why it's only 3 weeks long. I mean, there's not much more you can do with that.
Sure.
So we don't need a business plan. We just want to know that you've identified an opportunity for improvement and you have a thought as to how to do it, and then some justification around that. So beef it up. You got 3 weeks to beef this up and make it convincing, okay? And that $1,000 is not seed money for doing it. That's just yours. Thank you for having won the competition. That's truly just the prize. Okay. But then if you get interested in that, you really say, hey, I want to make a business out of this. The next phase comes in. Now you're eligible for the larger grant. That one's going to be a lot deeper than this. That one's going to ask for that. How are you going to turn this into business?
Is the larger grant only for the winner or for?
Well, what we were thinking is that all the finalists are going to be eligible to participate in that other round. Right?
Automatically.
And we're hoping to get at least 6 or 7 finalists. Now, right now, our numbers are a little low in the room here, but I'm hoping you will spread the word, and people will start registering by next week for doing this. So.
It's 1 o'clock.
I know.
So where students can get these documents?
All right, the document that you have is going to be linked to that
gonna be another-
scrolly thing on
Another
the
web
website.
posting, this document is gonna be linked to it. But anyone that signed in, I'm gonna email you a copy of it. So if you want, you can forward it to any friend you have or anything, but you get a
Right.
copy of
We'll
this.
send you a digital copy so you can forward it easily, and it'll be on the link rolling through the, what do you call it, our website.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, is there any reason to exclude faculty?
from participating in this? Yes.
Okay.
Is there any reason to exclude faculty from participating in this? Yes.
They're-
Yes,
they're
faculty
actually-
certainly can be mentors.
Right, they're not
Okay,
completely.
but this is really for the students. We want to hear from the students. That was the main reason. But we are encouraging faculty,
Yeah.
I mean, students to team up with faculty.
Faculty involvement is encouraged, but you have to have students actually be doing this one, yeah. But
Yeah, we
faculty
really-
definitely, because that makes this thing seem more serious, because the faculty, they have the credibility, they have the experience to push this out. So it's not discouraged, but a catering student, even outside, maybe you have a friend at U of M, friend, for example, that you have an idea already, you can enter this, but the catering, there must always be a catering student, a currently registered catering
We
student.
didn't want this to be
On the-
outsourced to somebody with more
Right.
experience or whatever.
And the catering student in that case will be the
Yeah, don't
presenter.
outsource. Hey, I know how creative you guys are.
So, I mean, multidisciplinary team is very encouraged. I mean, reaching out to people is definitely, because any serious idea is not just like a one-man thing. So usually we have to look outside. So we have a short video, just example, pitch to show.
Also maybe, could you mention the next phase if somebody is interested in, bringing up some idea for this and bigger grants to further
Yeah,
develop
we
that.
forgot to put that in there.
Yeah,
didn't we?
just
Actually,
a little
that's
mention.
mentioned that.
That
That
Is
it
will
mentioned?
automatically, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that
that's-
mentioned in here?
That's mentioned,
Did we
but
put
what
that in?
is next is not there yet, because we want to see actually the feedback, how students view this.
Okay, I think
And
somewhere in there
if
we
they know
mentioned that there is a
if it's-
phase 2.
Yeah,
But no, not much detail.
not much detail. Yeah.
Not much
This is not. This is actually just the beginning.
We can elaborate on that.
Right.
There should be some mention
Excite
of,
them further if they have a great idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
there should definitely be some mention of that in there, that the finalist will get to go on, because that will definitely encourage.
Yeah, we should do that before we
That's-
send it out.
that's-
We'll add that in real quick.
Okay, and it can be approximate, it's gonna be worked out, but the finalists will all be eligible for the next round.
Yep.
Part of it is we haven't really planned it yet, we just have an idea. So, but we can maybe beef that up a little bit before we send it out. Okay.
The next page, just to keep it short, is just from the page, from the concept, you go to an executive summary content. So which means you have defined the business model, how you want to sell this and stuff like that. And then they're gonna have a group of people selected, and then you go to business model, business plan competition, when we're actually gonna have actual investors to be there to see everything. So this is real money that's gonna actually take your company further. But it's a good way to get started.
Investors, not fans of those guys. They take part of your
They
shit.
make you sweat. But the money you get from this one is called maybe the seed funding. Pretty much you don't owe anybody anything, just catering to deliver. So if you want to go to the next round of funding, then at least you have the exposure. So this is a short video, just to give you a small background of this. Myself and my former business partner entered these 1,000 pitches at U of M, and then this video was actually the winning video. One thing I want to highlight here is that I'll let him do the presentation because he has the enthusiasm and stuff like that. Because if you know somebody's better at something, just let that person do it. So it doesn't mean everyone has to. Because if you show up on the video, you don't want to stand there just to show your face. You have to do something. So that's the reason why you're gonna see this completely a solo, but this is a team. So there is no issue with that because in your writing and everything, the team should be actually submitted. Everyone knows you have a team to go. Even for a question Q&A session, the team will be present to answer. It's gonna be maybe not loud enough, but just to see a format of it. I mean, this is just an example. It could be a lot better than this one if. We're not asking you to do all this, but if you want to do it, it's fine.
6 billion people, roughly a quarter of humanity, live without electricity every day. Did you know that 90% of the energy in Western Africa comes from burning wood, where they spend $17 billion annually for fuel-based lighting sources like kerosene lamps? What does this all mean? There's a desperate need for affordable, clean energy in developing countries. Hi, I'm Shinor Amin, a native of Bangladesh, and I'm partnered with Abdra Traore, a native of Mali in West Africa. We're both master's engineering students and co-founded Clean Energy since we understand the dire lack of reliable electricity in much of the developing world. Way beyond what statistics will ever tell you since we physically live there. We vividly remember studying long hours under kerosene lamps where there was no electricity for miles. And though wireless technology has made cell phone accessible, people still have no way to charge them due to poor energy infrastructure. This poses two pressing problems in developing countries: lack of lighting and lack of electricity for small electronics like cell phones and radios. And at Clean Energy, we are developing a simple, portable solution that uses clean solar energy to provide lighting at night and electricity for basic electronics. Further, its tough exterior ensures operation in the rough sands of the Sahara to the tropical forests of Indonesia. This will allow students to study at night, give them an opportunity to reach for their inspiring dreams, like we have. Families can earn more income by keeping their shops open longer at night and communicate over long distances. Business owners can operate trans-regionally, now being able to charge their cell phones anywhere, and will ensure a cleaner environment for everyone by stopping the alarming rate of soil erosion and carbon pollution from kerosene and wood burning. Our product is cheaper than buying kerosene for life, maintenance-free, and only $10 per household. And since my cousin is the foreign minister of Bangladesh, I understand it's much cheaper for governments to subsidize this product rather than investing billions of dollars to install power grids, not to mention annual maintenance costs and continued pollution from fossil fuels. Our competition is really again kerosene. It's harmful to the environment, flammable, dangerous, and very expensive over its life cycle. But our integrated product is inexpensive to manufacture and sell, extremely durable, and a means to improve the lives of billions of local individuals. As part of the systems engineering group at Tavakoli Electric Company, I generated over $1 million of annual residual sales. I understand both technology and business. Abdra was a research design engineer at Emerson with several years of experience in embedded product design and responsible for breakthrough innovations in energy-efficient climate control technologies. And from being in third world countries, we intimately understand the needs of our people. With this financing, we will complete our product design and start selling through our existing government channels in Mali, Bangladesh, and other developing countries, and pave the way to cleanly and affordably electrify the world we live in. Thank you.
How long was that effort?
I was by 3.5 minutes. So just to see, telling a story is very compelling. As Kettering student, you have to actually show emotion. that's one thing I think all the questions you've seen were actually answering these. You have to talk about the team, who's behind the idea and their qualification and all those kind of stuff is very important. And then you talk about how you intend to literally make a difference. You identify your competition and explain why you're better than them. And at the same time, if you happen to have any advisory team or anybody, just mention that as well. So I think those key things, all the questions pretty much were answered in these. So just keep that in mind. If you have any questions, feel free to email us, and we'll be more than happy to answer any question. This one, I'm gonna put it up there. I'm gonna provide a link to the video, or maybe even a couple more if you wanna look at them. So it doesn't mean that you need to show all the graphics, and I know you have 2 weeks or so, but just try your best. Because this is just not Kettering. Some other people from outside can actually see this. So this particular contest was, they call it the largest pitch competition in the country. This one was 2,000, I think it was 2,625 contestants, something like that. But right after that, we had the exposure, so we raised a lot of money from 50 all the way. I mean, Massoud, he helped us out as well. We actually had a venture capital for over $500,000 on the table for us and everything. So I'm just saying, think global, but act locally. So this is a good way to start, I think. One impact might really change Kettering, but it's something that you can take to Baker College or Bam, anywhere else and sell it. So just keep that in mind. That's actually part of the bonus question, if you can identify that. You don't have to, but that's actually, it's gonna be rewarded if people can actually show that, you know what, this is not just Kettering, but we can actually take and do this and this with it. So if you have any questions, feel free to let us know and spread the word and have your friends actually participate. And I think KES, we'd like to thank KES for all the effort. So if anyone, even if you have an idea that you're not sure, just start coming maybe a couple of Thursdays before the submission. They can actually help you refine your idea and put it in a better format. So they're all your friends. They're like, I like this quote. They say, entrepreneurship exists between a tiny space between genius and insanity. So they're here in this room. Just come see them. All right. So if we have no more questions, I think that will be it.
Are there any other questions or comments?
So I'm planning to be in the grid court because my goal is to hand all these out today. So please send people my way so they can get these hard copies.
You can put a slice of pizza on each one.
Exactly, yeah, you get pizza once you. So just tell people if they have missed this to come to the grid court so I can explain them a little bit and hand them a copy. If you have an idea, encourage more people to come. That makes it more competitive.
Yeah, please propagate this
Yep.
thing. I'm not sure if the word got out adequately or not, but tell your friends and take some extra copies of this and share it with your friends.
All right, thanks for
All right,
coming.
great.